What's up? It's Riter Radio. We haven't done this in a while. And there's no video this time. I'm not sitting in my basement. I'm actually sitting on my back patio, and I've got a guest because it's hot in there. So let's hang out here. But it's going to be even hotter if you pick up a copy of Greg Bauch's new book.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable is the name of the book. Unbelievable is Greg Bauch sitting in my backyard. This is fun. So
that's more believable.
It's believable, yeah. It's been a while, though.
It has, okay.
Well, I would say we haven't hung out in a while, but this is the third time in a week I've seen you. Because you stopped by the radio station where I work again.
You're probably sick of me
now.
No,
I think I'm all right. Okay. And then I saw you at your book release party.
You were nice enough to come to my book release party.
Oh, why would I not come to your book release party?
I don't know. I don't expect, I was just happy people came. I'm grateful. So that's I
thought that was a good crowd.
It was an amazing crowd. Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
And I'm sure it was 90% people that you know, but that's what you've done is you've established a group of friends and fans and whatever that want to come out and support what you're doing.
I know a lot of
there's no shame in that.
I know a lot of indie writers, and I've done this work. I did radio and I do stand up. I try and have friends and stuff like that and support. Just doing crap get you support.
Yeah.
So these writers that are really really good write these books, and they don't get that exposure that I get just by I went on Show Up in the Bulldog with Mike and Chris. Yeah. Other writers can't do stuff like that, so I'm very lucky when we're at it. I mean, I did work for the station for a couple of decades to earn that right, I think. But yes, I'm very. I understand my privilege as a writer to have the opportunity to have that many people come to my release party.
Well, you're a writer first. I mean, even going back to radio stuff, you did great, production and whatever. But at the heart of it was you were writing comedy bits for the radio, and yeah, you recorded them and they sounded cool, but you were a writer then. This is not your first book. It's your second book. Your career outside of radio has been writing and creativity and advertising and marketing and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, at your core, if I say to somebody who doesn't necessarily know, hey, do you know Greg Bauch? They'll be like, oh, the guy from the radio. Oh. But even when you were on the radio, you were a writer then. So you wrote another novel. What year did Frank Dates come out?
It was 13 years ago.
Okay.
So, and it's funny, we're on your patio.
Yeah.
There's a picture. We did Writer. I don't know if it was Riter Radio. You interviewed me for a podcast on my back patio.
Yes.
And I have a picture of it. I meant to get it up. I didn't.
I remember that.
I could probably get it. I could probably bring it up on my phone right now on one of our media sites. But yes, you interviewed me about that book.
Okay.
That long ago. So
all right.
I'll get you the exact date in a second.
That book was cool. This book is, I think, remarkable.
Well, thank you.
I don't understand how a person can do what you did. I think I'm a decent writer, author of tell me what you want me to write a paragraph about and I'll do it. Or I think I write good emails. It's stupid stuff like that.
Well, you've done stuff in your work. You've done a lot of writing.
I have done a lot of writing, but I think I'm good at it. I can't even begin to comprehend how a person can come up with an entire novel. So can we start with that? How do you... What's the jumping off point? Why this book? Why in 2026? How do you do it?
Sure. So I'll tell you, with my first book, I kind of cheated it. I wanted to write a book really, really bad. I kind of had that, and I would write little things. I'd write Bachelor recaps. I always loved writing.
Yes.
But I got it in my mind that I wanted to write a book, and then I got an idea for it, which was a guy that was really drunk and bad at dating, and it was not autobiographical. And what that was a bunch of the drunk guy in the book, in case you haven't read it, tells the stories of his failed relationships to make people laugh. Basically, everyone knows he's bad at dating, so he's always telling stories. And then when he's dating this woman in the character, he tells her story wait, you know that girl? And then it jumps to the shorts. So it's a bunch of short stories about really terrible dates he's had, wrapped around the main story of him and this one girl he meets.
I read that book, but I read it 13 years ago.
That's fine.
But I've read a bunch of stuff since, so I've lost it.
I barely remember.
I can picture beer bottles, and I remember the name, and I remember that you wrote it, and I think Dan Cave edited it.
Yes.
Edited it.
Dan Cave helped me tremendously. So anyways, but it was almost like cheating, because it was a bunch of short stories wrapped around a big story, and but I didn't care. I got across the finish line. When I got toward the end, I was so afraid I wasn't going to finish it that I thought I was going to die. And I sent a copy of it to my friend Kevin in Colorado, and was like, "If I die, could you finish this?" I became obsessed with it. So if you're asking how, I just got it in my head that I wanted to finish a book, and it absolutely consumed me.
Is that Kevin Carlin by chance?
Yes, it is. Kevin
Okay.
Carlin is awesome. I hope he hears this. So, and then, that came out, and I rushed. Like, I self-published. I did edit it, and I did go through the process, and Dan Cave helped me, but it's not great writing. Like, it's really good, like, comedic writing, and, like, I read it. I finally picked it up when I got done with this book, and just went through it because it'd been so long. I couldn't pick it up for the longest time because there's so many, like, comma splices and just bad adjectives and bad similes and just, like, it's not really solid writing, and run off, and this chapter could have been eliminated. It wasn't edited correctly.
Well, this is why you get Dan Cave out of the picture.
Right. No. He it was way worse before he got it. Absolutely.
I know. But it's fun to mess with Dan.
So I picked it up the other day. I was like, wow, this page is really like, okay. I wrote differently though. Like, I kind of just like, you know how you chug a beer, you know how you disable your epiglottis and the beer just goes in.
No. Yeah.
Okay. So this is not like there's drinking a beer fast and then there's just
pouring it down.
This is going
hole.
straight into my lower intestine. That's kind of how I used to write. Just try and be funny, try and make them laugh. I don't care about this and that. So that book was kind of that. This was a story that I thought of around the time that book was coming out. I was sitting in Chopin the Bulldog's control room, and I do a Greg Buck character there. The new book, Unbelievable, has an announcer in it that's one of the main characters. And it's not Greg Buck. Like, the book is not about Greg Buck, but the audiobook version of it, I'm voiced like that just because that's kind of like
that's how
what
you
I'm
do a
known for.
play-by-play voice.
That's how you do it. But he's just an announcer with an annoying voice. And so the story that I thought of 13 years ago, wrote like 3 pages of it just sitting there, and they just kind of sat there. I have 50 Google Docs that just have ideas.
Yeah.
Only 5 of them have been like polished out. So I just kind of was doing projects, and then a year and a half ago, I just picked up the Word doc. Like, I looked at all my Word docs. I was like, oh, this one. I haven't touched this in the longest time.
this one.
And it just went.
Started
like,
flowing.
it just happened. I don't know how that happened,
So you
but it
said you
happened.
had 3 pages, and then
About 3 pages,
and
yes.
then you wound up with 180 or 190 or something.
Yeah, about 190. Well, there was about, at the height of this book, it was about 250.
Really?
Yeah, it's tough when you like something, but you got to cut it because it just doesn't work. So.
Explain that process.
Okay, so this time, because I was taking it seriously and I really liked the story, I actually hired a developmental editor. I had a contact named Mike from my work. His wife used to work at like Random House, and a bunch of editors, New York City editors that all worked at Random House, just hated the business, so they just left and started their own thing. He's like, why don't you look through this list? So he sent me the list. I looked at all these editors and what they did. I sent him, you don't just hire them and say, do this. You have to get accepted. Like, I had to send my manuscript. A guy named Mike Levine, he looked at it and he's like, oh, I can work with this. And like, I looked at some of the stuff he's done. He's got like really good authors that are accomplished. And I was like, whoa, this is cool. I had to pay him. It was a lot of money. I have to sell 213 books to pay for everything I've done to put into the book. So I'm not doing this to make money. I just wanted the story out, but I wanted it done right. So my wife agreed to let me get an editor for this project that I'm not making any money on. And he just like brutal. Like he said maybe 4 nice things. And then it was like,
that's what you're paying him for.
That's what I'm paying him for. Like,
to yell at you.
Yeah, like you can get beta readers online, and I did some of that. And like my friend Kevin Carlin and my friend Sean Murphy, they read it and they say nice things and they tell you what to do and they have really good advice. But ultimately, they're like, no, this is good. When you can't hear that like you can't have your friends if you really want to get it done.
If I hire a guy to edit my book and he's like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, well, I need a different editor. What did I just pay you for?
Yeah. But
tell me it sucks.
It's me. Like it's like not mean. It's just hard because like no. Like I had some jokes and you've read it, so I'll tell you these things as we have our conversation.
Sure.
Where I'll tell you what was left out, and you can tell me whether or not I should have kept it in because he told me like I didn't listen to everything he said, and he said you're not supposed to listen to everything I said.
Right,
he made suggestions, but there's some things I was like, oh, I really want that, and he's like, no, and I was like, oh, so we can go through all that, but like that was a really interesting part of the process too.
All right. I want to mention two things I want to do. One, I want to mention that the podcast is brought to you by Store 716. Good friends, great business, great local business, super cool guys, great place for, I'll say Christmas shopping as we sit here on a 90-degree day in Buffalo.
It's coming.
But, Father's Day, Mother's Day, they've got everything in mind, and it's Bills, it's Sabres, it's general Buffalo stuff. It's great. I worked with those guys for several years, and they're a part of the podcast here, which Here's how cool they are.
I love those guys.
Here's how cool they are. Like, we'll just spot. I know you're doing the radio show. There's not much podcasting actually happening. I haven't done one in weeks. They're like, we'll just sponsor you for the rest of the year. Whenever you do something, we sponsor it. Like, oh, okay. So that's my arrangement with them. So I think I'm at this is probably episode 298 or something. It's 98 or 99. Like, we're approaching 300. But I was doing it daily for a while. And then once the radio thing started, it's like, I don't have 2 hours of solo Brad, then go do 2 more hours with it doesn't happen. But I do intend to make this, once things are situated at WGR, which they're still not. Like, Tim and I constantly joke, like, we're not even a real show. Like, we don't have a name. We just turn the thing on. There's no open. There's no. It's just us talking.
I can't get you on the audio vault.
You can. We're called. We're there. Okay. We're called Extra Point. We're under Extra Point or something. Yeah. Okay. But they were cool enough to be like, yeah, we'll sponsor whatever else you do. Just mention us. So wanted to get that in there. You should probably get your book in their store.
I thought of that when you first brought it up.
In addition to getting the book in their store, that's the other thing I don't want to skip and wait till the end, because who's going to listen? Who knows how long we're going to sit here and talk, because I haven't seen you in a while. We haven't, and I'm very, very interested. I loved the book. We've been good friends for a long time, and so much of the content, like, I can feel. I feel you. Like, you're. It's the radio part of it. It's the sports part of it. Just all of it. Anyway, so where can people buy the book? Let's start with that.
Oh, good. GregBauch.com. My name is Greg, Greg, Bauch, Bauch. So GregBauch.com. That's my website. If you're on Amazon, you can search Unbelievable or Greg Bauch. It's there. That's like the main way. No Frills Buffalo is my publisher. They were awesome. I have to go through so many hoops to do this, and they were like so responsive. So, thanks to Market, No Frills, and
I'll put a link up at writerradio.com as well. So
that's awesome. It's not on that site yet. I think he has a lot going on. He has a lot of authors and stuff like that. So it's not on that site. I would rather people bought it from the No Frills website. Than Amazon, like the monster giant that doesn't need money.
Right.
But whatever, it's not there now. I have copies. I'll have other events, but everything will be on GregBauch.com. All of the information you need to buy the book is on GregBauch.com.
All right.
And the audiobook version is coming. That's currently being reviewed by the audio version thing. So that if you like listening to things like this, the audiobook version I'm very, very happy with coming out too.
I can't imagine how long this podcast would be if we didn't have to guard against like spoilers. Like if this book was 10 years old, and we could talk about it, and I just read it, I'd be like, oh man, I got to get this author on, because I want to understand where this came from and how it was all put together. So you said the story came to you right around the time of your other book 13 years ago.
Yeah.
What do you mean by the story came to you? Like just the overall premise, or did you have the characters that are involved? I mean, there's so much that happens in the book, and I don't understand. Like I said earlier, I fancy myself as like a decent writer. I can compose an email or a list or a quick article or whatever, but I have no idea how to just invent a story out of thin air. And I don't know how that comes to you. So do you have any insight as to how that happens, or like?
I mean, I don't like. I know you can do it. Like if you had I'll tell you the idea that I had that got me writing.
Okay.
And you definitely are creative enough. Most people could you can have that idea and you can write around it. You just have to it's work. But the idea was, has there ever been a perfect game played? Like I know in baseball you can throw a perfect game, but it's not perfect.
Right.
You know, I mean, and absolutely. And basketball was always to me the sport where, I don't know, like a team is down by 8 with 23 seconds left, and it's like if they just get these stops and throw the ball up, like has it ever been where some guy's just throwing the ball and it just keeps going in? You know, like
you can have a perfect minute and win when you're down by 8. Yeah, right.
Michael Jordan, Reggie Miller, when he scores those 9 points in like the 3 seconds, 8 points. That moment, I don't know if that wasn't the basis of this, but those kinds of moments, has that ever happened for a full game? It had to have. All these years of sports happening, that had to have happened. So I had this idea for it. I've been doing this play-by-play announcer who makes the perfect game that actually happens a story. And, I just kind of thought about that a little bit. And, okay, so a perfect game had to happen. I want to make it in the past. I want, something has to happen that makes it so it's not like a spectacle. And that's why I had it in the past, because if a perfect like game happen where this guy scores all these points and has all these steals and rebounds, like the one-man machine in a college basketball game that does all this, it would be all over the place immediately.
Right.
Well, I didn't, as the story is constructed, that wasn't what needed to happen. So I made it before cell phones and the internet and things like that.
Good move.
It just kind of like...
I was going to ask if that's why it was set when it was set, and that totally makes sense.
Well, I could have gone further in the past, and I just wanted a bunch of things.
No, I like the comfort of 72 for the game and then 92 for the setting of the story.
Yeah.
Makes me happy. I'm born in 74.
Yeah.
I know I graduated high school in 92. Like, I was just so comfortable with all of it.
That's
of
that's
course
what you do, though, Brad. You just start to think about things that you want to happen, and it's like, well, now I have the year. And with the year, now I know how to talk about music and things going on and things like that. I needed an ice storm. Why did I need an ice storm? Well, because blizzards have happened and hurricanes have happened. And I wanted a natural disaster.
You grew up in Buffalo.
And I thought we've never really had an ice storm. Like, it was interesting. And so I started reading about ice storms. I went to the library, for Christ's sake. And Idaho has had more than one ice storm that were devastating. I was like, there's where it is. It's Idaho.
Perfect.
But the team can't be from where the ice storm is, so now I just looked at a map and what do I like? I love that region of the country. I finally visited there. I've never been to Moscow, Idaho, but I've been to that area, and so I picked Montana. Just
perfect.
It just all kind of all of that just kind of came together, and then you just start putting things down on paper. Then you start developing characters. What's the guy that's perfect? What's he going to be like? And then what's this announcer going to be like? And obviously there has to be a coach. There has to be other players. So you just start
they have
writing.
To play against another coach.
And
you need a story there.
And it's really, really cool. Just start writing because it's neat. When your characters start coming alive and you start giving them dialogue and you realize, oh, he wouldn't say that. Like, you start doing these things. Normal people don't do that. Like, you watch television and these players, that someone wrote that. It's like, well, I can't do that. Well, you can. It just kind of happens, and it's really cool to have that in you, where you can have your characters be different people.
That might be the part that really made me go, Jesus, Bauch's good. Look what he's doing here. That's the thing that I think I'm in. I can't even name a character. Do you have trouble naming? I try to name a character. That sounds stupid. I could name him Joe Smith, and I would be like, I don't know. That doesn't sound realistic. I don't know.
My niece made fun of me.
I don't know how to do that.
My niece made fun of me. My sister was the first person to buy the book before I even knew it was available on Amazon. And
Wait, you made your sister pay for it?
I did not know.
Because I got it for free.
First of all, yes, because my sister's on the radio. She can't help me.
Right.
No, she knew I was writing a book, and I said it was coming out. She went to Amazon, searched my name, and bought it, and took a picture when it came. And she's like, I was like, well, how do you have the book? And she's like, it's on Amazon. I was like, I didn't know it was on Amazon. So anyways.
Plus, when you order it on Amazon, they can bring it in 15 minutes, which is great.
She opened the book and saw that the main character's name is Paul Jones, and my niece, her daughter, was like, wow, Greg's really good at naming people. But he's given a simple name for a reason.
Because, the nickname is the thing.
Yes, Trigger Jones is his nickname. You can,
and then him being bothered by being called that and all of it.
He doesn't like being called Trigger. The announcer gave him the annoying announcer character, Bob Bolt, which is another name that's kind of stupid, but
I like that name.
His real name was Robert Agnerson, and
right.
I don't know where I came up with that. That just kind of came out, but he calls him Trigger Jones, and now everyone calls him Trigger Jones,
right.
And he does not like the nickname. My first book, Frank Dates, the guy's name was Frank Grantle. Frank Grantle was his name, and I came up with that because Grantle was like a mixed-up version of Largent, who was my favorite receiver growing up.
Oh, that's good.
Never really told anyone that.
Yeah,
It's just but that's the only time I was ever what I normally do is I look at the keyboard and I go to each letter and I think of what
pops out.
Yeah, what pops out. So this one I wanted all of the names to be very simple and not because of the time and the place and there wasn't any Hayden, Caden, Layden. I didn't want any of those names.
I was just going to go with Braden and Caden there. Yeah.
Bible names. People always just used to name their kids Paul and Michael and
Mark.
Peter and Jesus
right.
and all the names of God.
Steve.
Yes.
Bulldog.
Abraham, yes. Bulldog and Zig. People would only use Bible names. So, I wanted to do Bible names just for that area. And I even looked at that region to see what people... And I didn't, comb through a phone book. I just kind of looked at colleges that time and players and what they were called. Just that's as far as the research I do. You don't have to do a ton of research if you're writing, if you have it in your head. If you're I don't know, Michael Crittenden or something like that, you probably have to know all of your I's and T's and stuff like that. I don't get bogged down in that. I just want to tell a story.
Well, you're also it feels to me like you're telling the reader, we're not messing around here. Pay attention to the rest of it.
Yes.
His name is Paul Jones.
Yes.
Okay, got it. His name's Paul. Let's move on.
Yeah.
And I kind of got that.
I don't describe like the towns and stuff like that. I do a little of that, but like they're not accurate. I've never been there, and I made a point of that in the book. It's fiction, so like that college doesn't exist. The Butte Boulders is not a real team. The Idaho Taters is not a real team.
K-Butt's not a real radio station.
It should be. I hope to God that comes. KBUT. Yes, that's the college radio station that Bob Bolt first works for.
Right.
In the book. But.
So, I was gonna anywhere in your Word documents. Is there like a roster of this basketball team? Because naming a character is one thing. You've got a whole basketball team going on. I honestly didn't think about it. Are all 12 players mentioned? I know there are 12 players. Do they all have names?
Not all 12 are mentioned. The starting 5 is mentioned. Yeah. Like they hang out together the most.
Well, there's a couple more that are worked in.
There might be about 9 players mentioned total, and I do have the roster, and there are players that weren't in the book that were written. Did that out.
That's great.
Gave them positions and stuff like that.
No,
yeah.
I don't know how to write a book, but if I was writing this book,
Yeah.
I would definitely have a page with the roster. I would have heights and weights.
Yeah.
I would have
some of those
probably
heights and
hometowns.
weights. They're not crucial to the story that much, but yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about setting and your choice of Idaho and Montana, which I think is great because you picked places nobody's been. I mean, if you can't just fake New Orleans. You can't just fake New York or Miami or whatever.
You can though. You can fake Buffalo.
Well, you can fake Buffalo because you know Buffalo.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is,
you can fake. I can write a story in Buffalo and gave it fake names. Like I don't have to he goes to Parker's, the grocery store. That don't call it Wegmans. You don't. I'm not describing streets and describing the big white house that's sitting on South Side. I'm not doing things like that.
Right,
I'm
but
just
to
saying,
have the vibe of it, I think you would. I would. Again, this is me. I don't write, but if I did, I would feel like a fraud if I tried to set it in a place that I'm not super familiar with.
Yeah.
So picking no one has been to Moscow, Idaho.
That's not true, but I know what you're saying. Yes.
Yes.
I'm there's a chance
so you can just
that
use it.
If let's just say this is the best problem I'll ever have in the world. This gets big, and someone from Moscow, Idaho, or Butte, Montana, reads this, and they're like, No,
that's not the name of our grocery store.
We would have never been like that. Like it's not so much like the places because the places don't exist. I explained, it's fiction. We would not have acted like that. So there's 2 towns that are kind of gripped in this story. There's Butte that has this perfect player, and then they love him, and he's a star.
I love that whole aspect of it.
And
the whole aspect of celebrating it. I don't think I'm revealing too much here.
No, this is good.
This guy has a perfect game.
Yeah. So every year
it becomes the story in the town surrounding this high school that every year on the day of the perfect game, it's a celebration of this guy, and we're always hoping he'll come back, but he never comes back. And I love the lore of it because that felt very real to me. That one thing has ever happened in this town. So let's celebrate it.
So every year on the anniversary of the 100-point game, Butte, Montana has a party in their town square where the mayor gets up, but none of the players, the Coach Kennedy, who's the coach of the team, and the star, Paul Jones, they never show up to this thing. And the town's kind of like, I thought they're going to show up this year, but they still celebrate. They still love it.
It's great.
And Moscow doesn't talk about it because they lost. The final score of the game was 100-18.
Yeah, that's a blowout.
Paul Jones scored every point without missing a shot. That I can tell you because it's on the cover.
Yeah, I knew about that right away.
Well,
maybe before you wrote it.
I'm saying things in my head because I don't want people to just have the whole book told to them. I want them to get into it because there's some intricacies and interesting things.
Which sucks for me because I would love to.
You can ask me anything.
Really
and I'll just
explore everything.
You can ask me anything, and I'll tell you what I don't want out
we'll
there.
Just cut stuff.
And
out
I think you're going to help me, because would you want to know that going into reading the book? We'll have a discussion on that. So, so if you're listening to this and you're interested so far, I'd say turn this off, read the book. I've had 8 total people have read it, including Brad right here. 4 people that have read it in 2 days, straight through. Brad was the fastest. He texted me at 10 and said, I'm through 52 pages, and then texted me at 2 in the morning. But I didn't get the text. He was very nice. I didn't get the text till 9 and said he finished it.
Right. I saved it. I used the little schedule text thing.
Yes.
But I read it from 10. So true story. I knew I was exhausted, and I came home probably from baseball because that's usually what I do. And it was like I knew I had to get up early for something. And my wife's like, why don't you go to bed early? I'm like, I never can fall asleep early. And it was like 9:45. I was like, I'm actually tired. Like, I think I can go to sleep. So I went, and I'm like, I'm going to start Bauch's book. And I think I fell asleep 7 or 8 pages in.
Yeah. Those are the worst 2 pages.
Shortly thereafter, my son came downstairs, like, Mom needs you outside for something, whatever it was. So like, ugh. And then, I would have just slept like a baby the whole night. And I had to come out here to, I don't know, do something with the filter of the pool or whatever it was. Once I did that, I was wide awake. I'm like, well, all right, back to the book. And then I think I texted you at page 62.
Yes.
Like, I've never read 62 pages in a row ever.
Neither have I.
And then I proceeded to just keep going. And it was like, once I'm past 100, I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I don't want to, like, I wouldn't, if this is a movie, and I want to talk about that too, because I picture this as a movie.
Oh, good.
All of it is
Tell
very,
your friends that.
well, it's very cinematic.
Yeah.
All of it fit, like, that's what I was picturing. So I ended up reading all the way through, and at 2 a.m., I wrote to you and said, I finished your book, but I'm scheduling this text. It's 2 a.m. I'm scheduling this text for 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or whatever it was, so that you would get it. And now I will say I do feel almost. Do you believe me that I read your book?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I there's a part of me that thinks you think that I'm lying.
Oh, no.
About reading your book,
no.
But I'm saying all the stuff to make sure that you know that I.
You asked me some questions in text that I knew you did, but like. Just to complete the thought I was making before
I interrupted
this.
you.
This important interruption, because I'm very much enjoying talking about the book because I can't talk about it.
I know that's
didn't finish it. But if you're listening to this and it's like, oh, I'm intrigued. I like Brad. Brad knows what's good. I'm going to go read this book. Pause this. It'll be there for you. The internet's not going away.
Right.
Read the book and then listen to the rest of this. Like, I don't think we're going to give anything away. If you're enjoying us talking that much, okay, finish listening. But like, I think like I'm the kind of person where if something comes out that looks cool like a movie and I know it's a book, I was like, I got to read that book before I see the movie. Now I haven't been to the movies in 12 years, so that's not the case anymore. But like, Shawshank Redemption. Like, I was a Stephen King fan. When I heard that movie was coming out, I was like, got to read that book. Luckily, it was only like...
That's a short story, right?
Yes, in a novella called Different Seasons. And did you know, I didn't know it was a novella. I thought it was a book. And I read, did you ever read that novella?
No.
So there's 4 stories.
I've read one Stephen King book, and it was Pet Sematary, and it sucked.
Yeah, that's not a great one. So Shawshank Redemption's a great book. 120 pages. Andy Dufresne's on the beach with Red, fixing a boat.
Spoiler alert.
I can't remember if that's in the book, but like that's in the movie. But like that's over. And then I turned the page to the next chapter, and all of a sudden, some kid found out that there's a German Nazi general in his neighborhood, and he's torturing him. And I was like, what is it? When are they getting back to the prison? Like, I didn't know it was a novella. It was called Apt Pupil. There's a movie for it too.
I've seen that.
So that was the next story, and I was like, but like the one of the names in Apt Pupil was similar to one of the prisoners or something. So I was like, oh, that was a really good chapter. This book's really good. I wonder what's going to happen next. Germany, what is going on? Like, and it took me like I maybe read 8 pages before I was like, what is going on?
I don't think Andy's coming back.
No.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because, again, I'm just going to keep hitting you with compliments. I hope that's okay, Greg.
Oh God, no! Please stop.
You did that a lot with different, bouncing back and forth between times, between settings, between characters, and like every time you went back to the radio thing, I was excited.
Yeah.
And every time you went back to the current, like the
Kevin Carlin's idea, I had the radio in the beginning of the book and the end of the book. The whole entire book, I'm not giving anything away by this. There's a radio interview, and it begins and ends the book.
Yeah.
That was from the beginning.
Well, good job,
Kevin
Carlin's
Carlin's idea was to take a portion of it and put it in the middle.
Oh, okay.
So, like, that doesn't affect anyone listening to this. I'm saying this out loud to make sure, yes, that wouldn't really bother anyone to know that going into it. But, like, Kevin's like, why don't you sprinkle some of this? So, like, you have, there's a community of writing, and you reach out to people that, like, give you advice, and not every advice is great, but, like, that was a little piece that I took with me.
So ultimately, and how do you piece it together when you're bouncing between the radio interview part, the 1972 part, and the 1992 part?
The book takes place.
Did you write 3 things and then start shuffling the deck, or no?
No, well, let me try and answer that. So the book takes place. The game's in 1972. The anniversary is 20 years later. Most of the book, maybe 90% of it, is either 1972 or 1992.
Right.
There's some other, decades or times that are sprinkled in there, but for the most part, so there's bouncing around. And I wanted to I'm very proud of this part of the book. That wasn't an editor telling me to write kind of things out of order. That wasn't like my development editor did not tell me to do that. I just started to I almost wrote it in the order that you're reading it, which that's kind of
that's insane.
There was like a chapter or two that I was like, no, I want this sooner. And my big fear with the book was I want people to get to the end. I want people, I think it gets better in the second half, but I got to get people here. And I don't know if my writing's going to do it. But I think if everyone knows what they have by going to it, they'll read it. So now I want to delay it as much as possible, what's in the second half of the book from the first half. So now I'm afterwards, I'm moving chapters. And I was like, oh, will they get through that and get there? My fear was people are going to put it down halfway through. Now that has not been the case. That's me being self-deprecating and you're neurotic and you hate your words after reading them. But that was some of the chapter shuffling was that reason. And then might shuffle back. So there was some shuffling. You can move these chapters anywhere and hopefully people can still follow the story from that. So I'll find that out as we go.
I think that my initial flurry of text to you was dude, you keep bouncing around and I'm trying to keep up, but I didn't complain about it. I was just like, this sounds like something that was written by somebody who watched Pulp Fiction. I mean, really, you grew up on that. Yeah. And not grew up, but we're 20-ish when that comes out.
That was a major cultural thing that
it was massive
in our timeline,
to us, and it made everything. It was just so much more interesting. Yeah. And you did that and applied it, and maybe that's what makes me think so much about this as cinematic. The way that I'm reading it, I read it. I wasn't far into it when I started thinking about this as a screenplay. And, I don't know that you have that much interest in making a movie, but it seems like a movie.
My friend Mike Yashinsky, he was one of the first people that I gave it to. At one point, I need someone to read this. I need to know, before I start really selling this, I need to know if it sucks. So I gave it and I was like, you just don't know. My mom loved it. My mom would love it if I shit in a box. Yeah. So I was like, is this
which he does?
Yes, all the time. Yeah, that's right. And she loves it so much. She calls him a little box pooper. I just needed to give it to someone to find out. And so Mike Kaczynski is my friend. I worked with him at Mongoose. He was at the party. You met him. Just a great guy. But I know he likes me. We're friends. I know he likes my sense of humor. Not that this is a super funny book, but I know he likes my speed.
It's pretty funny.
Okay, I know he likes my speed. He works in Canisius and college athletics. He loves broadcasting, reads books on legendary broadcasters, and he loves sports. If he doesn't like this book, I'm not selling it. It's going in this will never see the light of day. Yeah. So he was my abs, and I told him that. I was like, if you don't like it, no pressure, but if you don't like this book, my life is over. And he liked it. So the quote he has, it's on my website. It's absolutely crying out to be adapted into a screenplay, part Slapshot, part Fargo, part Hoosiers. It's great. So that was Mike's compliment of the book.
That's pretty accurate.
I can't imagine a better compliment for getting that. And we see things in movies in our mind, and of course I can see this being a movie, and I don't care about that part. I just want people to read it. But if someone wants, I've never written a screenplay or something like that. So, but
yeah, I think you did. I think you accidentally did.
Well, you got to template it as a screenplay. But
it's AI, man. Just use AI.
Oh God, yes.
Honestly, that might be a good use of AI. No. I don't believe in AI.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that it exists, but I don't.
I don't believe in birds either.
Right. I don't trust it. Yeah. But. Hey,
it's a reorganization.
Can you take this book and turn it into a screenplay? I would give it a crack. Let ChatGPT take a crack.
You are talking to the I don't care if it saves my mom's life. I can't stand AI, and part of that is, and I'll explain it. It's not just because it's consuming all of our drinking water and taking jobs away, and all that stuff's true. But there's
it's ruining writing.
It is, yeah, and it's. What it is if I don't know how to write a screenplay and I want to make this a screenplay, what I should do is find a friend that writes screenplays and go in with him on it, or
read a book about screenplays,
or You know how much you'll learn about yourself in the writing process by adapting what you have to do in writing to screenplays. Like, it's all dialogue. I think I would really like to write screenplays because I like dialogue. And, like, that's one of my strengths as a writer is writing dialogue because, like, I've written radio stuff and all that. So I wouldn't want anyone to do that. I would think you'd be cheating yourselves of the experience. I didn't write this book to make a movie or get rich or whatever, and I'm not just saying that. I really didn't. I frigging love doing this, and it sucks so bad. Like I hate writing. I just like having written, and but that's part of it. Like you write something, you go back and you read it. It's like, okay, that was me. That's really that was really cool. Like these moments you get from doing it. Don't write because you want some result. Write because you'll be proud of yourself for doing it. I guess.
So all right, there's a point. Damn it! I got to think of what just happened there. Because it was you led me right into something I was thinking about earlier. First of all, one of my favorite quotes of all time, and I don't even know who it's from, but was like, "I do not enjoy writing. I love having written."
Yeah, that's what I was subquoting.
I know, but I've had I don't even write like you do, and I've had that in my. I just think that's a beautiful explanation. It's how I felt about my trivia games that I wrote.
Yeah,
I hated writing them.
Yeah.
But I love holding that box in my hand, knowing that I did it, knowing that I wrote 45 games with 500 questions in them. Like I'm proud of it. I hated doing it.
Yeah.
But I loved it.
That quote, by the way, was Bobby Bonilla who said that.
I think so. That's right. Well, we're very close to Bobby Bonilla Day, which just happened again. His name comes up on July 1st every year, and we are in early July here, approaching the 4th. All right. I'm trying to think what... you just said something that I wanted to deal with, and I've lost my train of thought.
That's okay.
I apologize. All right, let's do this. You said you were excited to do this because you had questions for me.
Sure.
Throw something at me about your book, and then we'll just keep going. But that's a good. It's time.
All right.
Let's do that.
What the easiest question is what didn't you like? But that's not right. I'm sorry, you can edit this out.
No.
Me thinking of...
I'll tell you what I didn't like. You want to hear the thing I didn't like?
Sure, go ahead.
I wish I was consulted on one on one little tidbit.
Sure.
So, Traeger Jones
Yes.
wears number 38.
Yes.
No, he doesn't, because they don't wear 38 in college.
Do they not?
Do you know why?
I have no idea. This is going to ruin my life.
Here are the numbers available to college players. Ready? And let's see if you pick up on it. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
So it's just the roster, like, the...
15.
Yeah.
20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 30, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So like Lou Alcindor, Larry Bird,
40,
Michael Jordan, yeah.
41, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Who was 38?
50, no one. 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the end. Those are all the numbers you can wear.
I never knew
because referees have to signal who the foul is on. And they have two hands.
God.
So 1, 2, 12 is fine. 55 is fine. 30, how would you do 38? 30.
I know exactly what you're doing, and I'm really upset. I never knew that. I had no idea. Yeah.
It's my only complaint about the book. And I know this from
I should know this. I used to work at a sports radio station.
Yes, but you didn't work as a PA announcer at a college basketball.
Yes, I did. I used to do PA for Buff State for like 6 years.
Yeah,
I have no excuse.
You screwed that up. Bring the books back. Call them back in.
That's right. Yeah.
Change his number to 12.
If you bought a book, bring it to my house. I'll white out all the instances of 38.
Make it 33.
The nice thing is that this is a
you
parallel.
could just white out the parts of the 8.
Yeah, I don't even have to white out the whole thing.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's my only complaint about the book. Honest to God, that's my only complaint.
The good news is it's fiction and it happened in a parallel universe where
it's not
all
real.
Referees have 8 hands or 8 fingers.
It's not real at all.
That's
there
really...
is a college ref that has 8 fingers. And he'll say 14. It's like, that's not 14.
No.
He's a good ref too, but he's got a hand thing.
Does he really? Are you serious?
Yes.
He has 13 fingers?
No. He has 8 fingers.
Oh, okay. I see.
I think 8 or 7 or something. But when he gives the thing, he'll be like, 24. Like that doesn't say 24, sir. But he's an awesome ref, and we don't really talk about it.
Then we'll let him pass.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That's what's wrong with your book. What's right with your book is literally everything else.
Okay.
I love everything else. I was just like, oh shit. If I saw this beforehand, I'd be like, hey, Greg, he can't be 38. And I think there was another jersey number in there too that was also not 38.
37. Yeah, it's
37.
It's the
Right.
captain of the Idaho Taters.
Okay, so
Henry Hollins.
yeah.
I'm surprised I knew that.
Do you want to end the interview now? Are you
No.
super pissed at me for bringing that up?
We'll discuss.
You asked what I didn't like. That's the only thing I didn't like.
This is going to happen. Like, there's going to be things in this book that like are like mistakes and things like that. So I guess you kind of just have to live with it.
Yeah.
Well, no, in that yeah, I don't know what to do. There's no going back now. I don't give.
But
a shit.
again,
Yes.
That's the only thing I didn't like, for real.
Yeah. No.
Like, I wasn't going to text you that the night that I was reading your book. You're like, Greg, this is bullshit.
I put it down. I'm not interested in this anymore. You know, the funniest thing, the first thing I thought of was that, like, just going into, like, my release day and it's selling and stuff like that, and I'm making videos and stuff like that. I had a shirt made on, like, Cafe Press. That's a Butte Boulder shirt.
Yeah, that's great.
That team does it, and, like, it says Jones with 38 on the back, and that's it's like, oh, I'd have to get that shirt redone. Like, not... You've printed out all of these books and you're trying to sell them now to the world.
T-shirt.
No, my stupid T-shirt that I love, I designed.
So you had covered that shirt up when I was sitting down
Teresa
talking to
at Fatty's wanted to give me a Fatty's T-shirt
right.
to
so
wear.
You had a Fatty shirt, and then somebody brought up your shirt, and you're like, oh, I got this thing made. And I was very tempted at the party to be like, 38's a bullshit number, Greg. But I decided not to do that.
Dude, I was so, like, if you've ever written a book before, and if you're thinking of writing a book, when you do a book signing, and this is something I've forgotten because my last one was like 13 years ago, it's the most exhausting thing ever. What I would tell you is take a notebook paper and write out like 50 generic things to write in someone's like book, because like you're talking to them, you're so happy they're there, there's 8 people talking to you at once, and you have to write something in that book that they're going to read, and it's going to mean a lot to them, and you're just going to be blank.
Yeah.
So, and I did a better job this time than I did last time, but like, and I was so shot that night just because of all the excitement and, you know, just being grateful people are there and stuff like that, that if you would have told me that, I probably would have started crying.
So you signed mine, and I didn't think...
I wanted to talk to you about this.
For sure, we're going to.
Yeah.
I just had the book, and I was like, thanks. And then somebody else, this is when you're at the radio station last week, and somebody else was like, I want mine signed. I was like, well, I want mine signed too. It's my friend that wrote it. Yeah, sign the goddamn
Tim Graham?
thing. It might have been Graham.
Yeah.
So I gave it back to you, and I honestly, when I said signed, I thought you'd just write Greg Bauch and hand it back to me, and you're like, all right, you got 20 more minutes doing your show? Yeah. I'll have it by then. And I was like, oh, that's right. He's got to think of a thing. I didn't mean to give you an assignment. I was just like, it would be better if this was signed.
That's
like I've got books from, you know, local, like Larry Felser signed a book to me at some point. Cool. Bud Bailey probably did. Suzanne Taylor did that audio photo book and signed it with a thing. You know, I was only asking you to put your autograph in there. But what you wrote was, this all started with a Riter Cup email.
Yeah.
And Riter Cup is a thing we did way, 20-plus years ago, 20-ish years ago, when we were on GR, which was, we were just doing it was just an excuse to do football picks and have people write jokes.
I was your producer, and you like, it started when you were picking games, like you just doing picks.
Yeah.
You called it Riter Cup, and you were picking against people to like win the Riter Cup.
Right.
But then it just turned into
chaos.
There's just so many people that came through that station that gravitated toward your show because it was nights. So you'd have like the people that were there early in the day would stick around. The people that were coming in, because people used to work midnights then, they would come in early.
Yeah.
And all the interns, like we would take any interns ever.
Right.
And they would all just become a part of the show, like Mike the intern and Jeremy White and Dan Cave and probably
Sontag.
1,000. Everyone was a part of that show.
The bartenders at Caputi's.
That's right. And Bob Gaughan wanted to be a part of it, so he would chime in. So
and then his kids were involved.
Yes, eventually. With the voices. Yes, his little kid. So anyways,
Jacksonville, Douglas, give me them.
Riter Cup became this thing where we were just supposed to be picking the games, but then you had to have like a thing about the game. You had to be funny. So if the Titans, who may have been the Oilers back then, were playing the Cardinals, you'd have to have a result. Well, birds can't beat an oil field. Like, not that more clever than that, but it became, you could not just pick the game. You had to make fun of, this guy went to jail, so
and everyone was competing against each other
to be funny.
Yes. Which turned it into a ridiculously awesome show, and I wish I had episodes. I still have the open available.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I've got that.
That'd be nostalgic. The one thing I remember I did to you, and it was, I wasn't there that night, or maybe I was, I don't remember, but I remember I started to write my picks, knowing that you'd be reading them because you read my picks. I wrote them and gave them to you, and you read them.
Because you're busy producing
or whatever. Yeah. And then it dawned on me, it's like I can get him to say whatever I want. And so I was like, the Bills will beat the Bengals by 3 points. I'm Brad Riter, and I just love golden retriever puppies. There are a lot of cute puppies like husky puppies and Doberman puppies, but golden retriever puppies are the cutest puppies. It's like just something Brad would not say, and it wasn't even like vulgar. It was, and then I would take that tape and use it intermittently on every show because I think I worked for every show at that time. But yes, that's the one thing I remember doing.
Didn't you have a list of things Brad would never do?
I do have it. Hold hands.
Do you still have it?
Hold hands with the girl at the mall. It might be in an email, so that's the one I remember.
Hold hands with the girl at the mall.
It's just a list of things, and that I had help on that too. Jeremy might have.
I feel like Jeremy was involved.
It's got to be in an old email somewhere. If I can get my net zero email account back up, I can,
real quick. I think you posted it on MySpace too, so you could just just
open
that up.
My account's still live. So, anyways, we would write these things for Ryder Cup, and I would put so much thought into them, and then. I just really liked writing and to be funny. And then, I wasn't even doing stand-up back then. I was just kind of just doing radio, and I thought I wanted to be the play-by-play guy for the Sabres. So,
Wait, you don't?
I mean, I would.
Right.
I have the play-by-play experience from doing Greg Buck. I think I'd be damn good at it.
I think you would, too.
But I did it in college. I know I'd be good at it. I have tapes. I was decent. I just needed a chance. So, just like Bob Bolt, just to get back to the book. But anyways, that writing started then. So that's why I wrote that in your book.
All right. It's not that this book started there.
No,
it's that you thinking I want to write more.
Yes.
Came from that.
Kind of taking myself more seriously as a writer because I was just writing all of this stuff.
Yeah.
I'd never thought about it before.
We did. Yeah. I mean, almost your entire radio personality that people know is you writing. They think it's you talking. Yeah. It's not you talking. It's you writing and then saying the words that you wrote.
Yeah.
And which, again, ties into obviously writing the book, but ties into your stand-up comedy. You had something in the book where you'll remember, I don't, where I wrote to you. I'm like, did we talk about this before?
Okay, so we can talk about this.
Okay.
We can, this can be said on so there's a philosophical.
Non-spoiler. Yeah.
Non-spoiler.
We've not spoiled yet. We're good so far.
No, we haven't. I'm going to in a second, and I'm going to have it not recorded because I want to tell you something.
All right.
But anyways, non-spoiler, in the book, there's a team. They're traveling from Montana to Moscow to play this game where Paul Jones scores 100 points.
Moscow, Idaho, not Moscow,
Idaho. Yes, you can't drive across the Pacific.
You can't take a bus.
Not yet, anyways. So they're on the bus, and it's a long ride, and things happen on the bus, and they fight and horseplay. But I've been a part of teams before. I've never a college basketball player on a bus, but long car ride, you start having philosophical discussions.
I thought the bus thing read perfectly.
Good.
I have not been on basketball buses. I'm on football buses, but I've been doing that since 2008. Yeah. And I thought your bus thing was dead on. Right vibe, right theme.
Good. So there's players on a bus, and they start talking, and the subject of God comes up because the assistant coach, Gus Corning, someone uses the Lord's name in vain, and he yells. So that
guy's a piece of shit.
Yes,
by the
Gus
way.
Corning.
I don't like Gus Corning at all.
No one will like Gus Corning, and I feel bad for how badly I treated him, but he deserves it. He's a piece of shit.
Good news.
Yes.
Not a real person.
Not a real person. That's right.
But I don't like him.
He can wear number 38. He's not a real person.
That's right.
So there's a philosophical discussion that comes up.
Coaches don't wear numbers, Greg.
God being mentioned brings up a philosophical discussion that I kind of just had in my head. What happens in the afterlife? So the center of the team, Poloni, his grandmother told him that when you die, whatever you're good at, you need to be good at in order to get into heaven. This is basically advanced. So if you're a painter, and this might be direct quote from the book. If you're a painter, you need to be a really good painter if you want to get into heaven.
Right.
So it's basically according to his philosophy, God wants you to take this life seriously in order to graduate into the afterlife. Yeah. And since he's good at basketball, he figures he's got to have at least a 50% shooting percentage in order to get into heaven. And they just start talking about this, wow, would I get in there? And the coach is like, boy, have I made 50% of my shots? I don't know. Am I going to heaven? So it was just this thought I have, just a random thought, that very much could have been a conversation with you, Brad Riter, at some point in my life.
Yeah, well, it reached a point where I was like, did we talk about this? And then I'm like, I talked about this with a person. I can't imagine it's a different person. And then I actually asked, I'm like, did you have a joke about this?
No.
Because you said, oh, yeah, because I wrote it. That was the first thing I wrote to you about this book, I think. I was like, this conversation about lifetime field goal percentage. And it's not just basketball shots. It was like if I throw a paper at a garbage can.
Yes.
Like that counts.
Yes.
All of it counts.
If you throw a sock into a laundry basket and it doesn't go in.
All of it. Huh. And then since I've read the book, I was at the radio station the other day and I took a shot from my seat over it's a 14-foot shot with a piece of paper. And I missed. And Tim was just like, do you ever make that shot? I was like, I have to make at least 51% of those shots.
Was that so after reading the book?
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I told him the whole thing about it. But it was awesome, man. I love that part of it. And it was to the point where I thought, even if we haven't talked about it, did you have that as, because you're like, I wrote that part 13 years ago.
Yes. So that was in one of the right. Bus ride was kind of in one of the first 3 pages.
And then I thought, I think maybe you just did it as a joke, and you think you didn't ever do it as a joke.
No, I think
but I can picture you on stage at Helium moving your hand to the right and telling that story. It doesn't mean I'm right. I have a lot of crazy
I've been on stage a
lot.
A couple of times. I could have. And sometimes at open mic, you can't think of what to say. You've just done it. I have no idea.
Oh, that would make sense.
So, maybe it didn't make it into my main thing, but I may have done it at some point. But I do know this.
It wasn't new to me.
That radio station was just such an amazing environment. And I'll bring it up again because it's important. The people that are in that room, and the guys that are still there, Jer and Joe and Mike and Chris and you and Tim and all of that, there's so many people that came through there, that just like a comet through there, and not even staying long, but they were so interesting, and they when you're developing characters in that, people you meet become a part of you, and I don't have a character in this book based on someone I knew in radio, not fully, maybe a little bit, but anyways, that place was such a hot pot of people just talking about dumb shit, or going to your house on Saturdays and calling Vancouver radio stations as the Duke of Amherst, and they needed guests on the radio, so we would hang out at your house on Hayden and call West Coast hockey games, but then we would just sit around and talk, and just I don't know, I think life was more interesting then. We would sit in a room and just talk about stuff. So that conversation about the bus philosophy, I might owe you money. That might be something brought up or I brought up or whatever. But
I'm cool. It very much I related to it very much and I was like, well, we've clearly had this conversation before. All right, let's talk about that. So when I started at GR in 1997, you were already there.
I was there first.
not by much, but
I was hired in September of 96.
Okay. So I was August 97. So you were there a year without me.
Yeah, I just worked overnights though.
I know. But there was an incredible group of 22-year-olds that were all there, and some of us are whatever. I've been gone for a while. I'm back, but some stuck, some didn't. But I just think about there were a dozen kids our age. Between at the young end would be you, probably.
I was only
at the old end 19. Would be Rob Gross. Probably.
Oh, yeah. Rob, Bengals receiver Rob Gross.
Yeah. Right. But Chris Brown and you and me and Maniscalco, who's the play-by-play guy for Carolina, and Norm Green and Sontag, and help me, Mike Mart. I feel like there's another Mike.
There was Ken Triplett.
Triplett, yes.
Steve Seashon was over at BN, but he was in that group, and of course, Shope was Rochester. Then he wasn't in the picture then. I think he was still in Rochester, but I mean, Bob Gaughan's not that much older than us. No,
he was our boss at the time.
At the time, he seemed like a dad almost.
Well, because he was
always yelling,
pulling the strings on Chuck.
Yeah.
So that was there, and I'm forgetting 11 people right now. It was just there were a ton of us, and not everybody stuck with it. But God, man, that was. It was almost a fraternity.
Oh, yeah.
We used to go out together in a group, and you mentioned Triplet. I remember going out with you and Ken and Mike, R.I.P. Ken, by the way.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was such a formative period for us. I've been listening to, there's a new podcast. Rich Eisen is doing a podcast. Are you aware of this?
Yes.
Okay. Called This Was Sports Center.
You told me about it last night.
Okay, fine. Well, I'm 3 or 4 episodes into it and listening, everything they're describing about Bristol, Connecticut is what we had in a smaller version in Buffalo, New York on Delaware Avenue with GR, where it's just like, I don't miss the working part of it.
Did you say Josh Gregory, by the way?
I didn't say Josh.
Yeah.
That's
He's
right.
one of the major.
He was the first one I thought of, and then I didn't say his
Duke
name.
of Amherst, which was Josh Gregory, so Josh. He has been mentioned.
Right.
But yes,
that's what made me get into this whole thing. That's right. Josh is the person who texted me today. He's like, "Are you still doing a podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have Bauch over tonight." He's like, "I'm gonna do a podcast with Bauch," and I'm trying to think of something that you would like to do too. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in for whatever. It doesn't matter." He lives in Eden now, though. You to Eden, you're in. Where the hell do you live? Wheatfield. Wheatfield to Eden.
Oh God!
You guys are both living the same life, you country losers.
Basically.
But you're super far away. I'm in the middle, so I'm in Amherst. We're good.
Well, now we know where to meet. You were saying what they had at Sports Center was the same thing.
Very similar. It sounded very similar. What they were. I'm on the Linda Cohn episode right now, and I listened to that on my way home from a baseball game. We're recording this at 11 o'clock at night or something.
It's midnight.
Driving home from baseball. Yeah, that's right. It was 10 o'clock when the game ended. I texted you, like, see you at my house in 20 minutes or whatever. And then I pressed play on that. And the way that Linda Cohn and Rich Eisen are talking about the camaraderie of that era of Sports Center, it very much reminds me of, like, it made me, I'm driving home thinking this was GR, like, type of podcast would be great because I want to talk to all the people. Not all the stories are airable.
No,
but I learned so much there. I've made so many good friends there, and everyone has gone on to do exceptional things. It's like all the people that when I met them at 24, I was like, that guy's good at something.
Yeah,
that's you. That's Maniscalco. That guy's good at something. He's the play-by
He's got a ring
guy for Carolina. He's got a ring, right? Brownie.
Yeah. I'm so happy he's doing
Bob.
Yes.
And Scott Wilson wasn't there, but Scott is one of my favorite people too. Like, he was a little bit later when we moved to the new building.
Paul's still doing it, and Paul was huge to my career too. So.
Paul Sylvester.
Yeah.
Like, we had so many interesting personalities, and like Linda Cohn's telling this story to Rich Eisen about just the layout of all these people, and it sounded exactly like us. We're just smaller, and we're radio, and that was ESPN and whatever.
Still the same thing, yeah.
But it was the same, and it felt awesome.
Yeah.
Listening to that, and it made me think, like, I got to talk to all these people.
I just going back to the station when I saw you there, just to be on with Mike and Chris, like, it's tough. Like, I did not want to leave radio. I never did. Like, that was the job. I was not put on this earth to do this, the talking part. I was put on this earth, not just to produce, but to produce for Mike and Chris. Like, it's so damn perfect. And I can't stand listening to them and not being able to play the birds when they talk about the past. Like,
sure.
Or when there's breaking news. Like,
that.
I can't, like, I was just on with them, and it's not like anyone's fault. Like, but like, I'm there and I'm talking. I was like, boy, I would be playing this. I would be doing this right now. Yeah. I was born to do that. It was the thing that I should be on this earth doing. I should be producing for those two guys. We just clicked. It doesn't mean that I wasn't great with you and doing your show. It just
I understand.
Man, it fit so well together with them,
right.
and
it was a full-time job that didn't pay enough, and you found a different place to go, and that that's why that broke up.
Yeah. But it was super fun.
Of course it was, and they love you, and I love you, and I'm just saying, like. Nobody has a bad thing to say about Greg Bauch as a radio guy. It was just time for you to go write more and do more and make more. Yeah. And, it just happens. I was out of radio for 14 years. I belong on the radio.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yes, you do.
That's what I should be doing.
And, I'll say this, like, there's a lot of good people. You're better than anyone that's come through, like, to like, do it after you. Like, you're very good at it. You have all the experience. The radio is better to have you on there. So it's good that you're back.
Thank you. Yeah. No jobs open.
No,
there are not a lot of places to go.
Well,
so the Bills leaving GR suddenly, like, I heard the Bills are leaving, and I texted Alan, who's the program director, I'll call it, but it's brand manager now, whatever. He's the guy in charge of GR. And I wrote to him, like, so I heard at the end of the week, the One Bills Live is gone. I'm available on Monday and also for future days.
Yes.
And he's like, we've got next week solved, but I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
And so we're in, and then this is a fun story to tell. I've never told this. The day that I found out the Bills were leaving was a day we were doing a trivia show at the Cas.
Yes.
And Tim Graham was there with me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Me, you, Tim, and Jeremy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
So I told Tim, I'm like, GR's going to have some openings here. There's a 5-hour gap from 10 o'clock until 3 o'clock. And would you like to work with me? He's like, when this show's over, let's go to a bar. We went to Libation Station over there at Hopkins and Klein. Little dumpy cash-only bar, but just cool. Only time I've been there. I thought, when I moved here, I thought that would be my new place.
Yes.
I don't go out anymore.
No.
I have children. So I went and talked to him. And the whole conversation was like, how can we pitch to Alan that you and I should do a show together?
Yeah.
Alan, I texted him and said what I said already, like, I'm available and blah, blah. He's like, I'm good for next week. Let's talk next week. He calls. We scheduled a phone call. He's like, I know you typically work alone. You're like a solo artist or whatever, but how do you feel about working with somebody? I'm like, I feel great about it. Maybe. Like, depending on who
Depending on who this is. Yeah.
Right. Like, yeah. Brad Riter and Susan Rose. Yeah, I love Sue. No, it's not a knock on Sue.
She does not want to do a show with you.
Right.
I think.
Yes. Yeah,
she's too good for you.
We're tied for no way.
Yeah.
He goes, what do you think of Tim Graham?
That's
I'm
awesome.
like,
yeah.
Tim Graham, the guy that I went out with last night to try to figure out how to pitch to you that we should work together.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, him. I'm like, I'm good with him.
How I thought this was going to go, because I've worked for Alan Davis, was you would have been like, what do you say I work with Tim Graham? And he'd be like, yeah, that sounds good. Like that's how I thought it was going to go. Your story was better.
It's way better.
Yeah.
It was weird, like, we should do this. And because, Tim is awesome. Tim is I can have a conversation with him the same way that I do with you about this, but also he's plugged into everything.
Yes, yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
Oh, OJ's not going back on the wall in the new stadium. Oh, well, I'm the guy who talked to OJ.
Yeah.
You know?
Like when Tim
shit like that.
When, you can do a tweet. It matters when Tim Graham likes your tweet. Like that like Tim should know that. Like Tim is a guy, if I do a tweet and Tim likes it, I was like, all right. I'm gonna walk around a little on that one. That was a good. There's not too many people when they like your tweet that you get that reaction. Tim's one of them. So,
all right, back to the book.
Sure,
we gotta go back to the book. Also, Store 716 is the sponsor of the show. We love them.
You will soon be able to get the book there,
and we're gonna get the book there. We'll figure that out for sure. Has to be there. Has to. Do you have how many copies of the book do you own right now?
I didn't do the exact math on how many. I sold about 50 copies at my release party, which is pretty good. In person, online more. But
do I owe you $20 or something?
I don't think so. No, not at all. No.
You just gave me a book.
This is paying. What we're doing right now. If 8 people listen to this and 2 of them buy it, this is way more valuable.
Okay.
So
fair.
We're good.
Right.
I'm glad we can square that out in the open now. I probably got like 50 copies sitting there, but more copies are always available to be made at any time. So
you can put 20 copies of the book in Store 716.
Sure.
And then we'll sell them all.
Yeah.
They'll be out of them. Like, we need more.
Yes.
All right.
Like a car dealer. You better get these cars. They're going fast. Get these cars. And then in December, we got to get rid of all these cars. I'll be like a car dealer. I'll do that.
Liars.
Yeah. They lie.
What have I not asked you that you wish I asked you?
Okay. So this is tough. So I write about basketball.
Yeah.
One thing about Paul Jones is he's like, he has this perfect game, but like, Like I describe his shooting style because he's got a very neat shot. Like I'm wondering how all of that came off because I've never like basketball is not even my favorite sport. It just ended up being what this story was about. So there's basketball in the book. It's not if you don't like basketball, you can still get something out of this book. But I don't even know how accurate.
It doesn't matter what they're playing. They could be playing pickleball.
Well, I
it
mean,
wouldn't
but still,
really matter.
the story's about basketball. How was the basketball in the book?
Perfect.
Okay.
I've got no
no pun intended.
No,
because there's a perfect game being played.
Right. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I've got nothing, no complaints about the basketball in the book. I literally have one complaint, and it was the number.
The number thing. Okay.
The number thing that I told you. What else? This is you interviewing you.
Yeah.
Tell me what you need to talk about.
It's really tough. This might take a while. I thought I had questions, and I'm kind of going blank. I think the number thing ruined me.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I knew I was being a dick doing that.
You're not at all. You
asked what I didn't like. It's the only thing I didn't like. Everything else was perfect.
Yeah.
And I want to see it on a screen. Like it's right. Like everything you did was right. So I don't consume fiction ever. I watch documentaries.
Yeah.
I read books about history.
Okay.
I read your book the next night. My kid wanted to go see Backrooms and Obsession.
Yes.
So
I don't know anything about those two movies.
Fine.
Are they true stories or no?
No.
Okay.
They're fiction. And that's my point. Like, I don't watch fiction. I don't read fiction. And so I had 3 pieces of fiction within 24 hours.
Yeah.
I read your book, and then the next night I went to that was what it was. I said, why I had to go to bed early that night.
Because you were going to the movies.
Well, because I was right. Yeah. I was going to, we had, work. I had work and baseball and all this bullshit, and then movies. And it was like a 9:10 movie and an 11:25 movie. I was like, we tried to go on Friday, and I was like, look, I'm not going because I'm going to fall asleep. I want to see the movies. So we pushed it off to Monday. And we went on Monday, and so it was Sunday night that I went to sleep early. It was Sunday night. I read your book. Now I've lost track of everything I was saying.
Oh, it's okay.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it ruins the whole friggin' thing. Oh, I know. I'm not used to watching made-up things or reading made-up things. Everything blended together. So now I've got like Paul Jones in my head. Paul Jones is in Backrooms, and like stuff from Backrooms is in Obsession.
Okay,
and it
the fiction's melting.
It was 4 hours of reading your book. It was 4 hours of watching those movies, and it all kind of ran together. I loved all of it. All of it was great, but I didn't. I've lost track of some of the things.
Oh, well,
which is why I wanted to record this with you ASAP.
Yes,
because a week from now, I will have forgotten. Despite loving it, I will have forgotten your book.
That's good. Keep consuming things.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it's all about. The book starts, and Bob Bolt is interviewing Paul Jones about his perfect game. And, he's setting the scene. So you're finding out that there's a player that scored 100 points without missing a single shot, and it happened 20 years ago. And Bob Bolt is all exciting, and Paul Jones just isn't answering his questions. So now I'm spoiling the first page for you.
You're fine.
But that's the case. What are you thinking at that point? Like, you're picking up this book. You know who Greg is, but you don't know what this book is about, and you're reading it. What are you thinking about the interview that's going on in that first chapter?
Paul Jones is an asshole. Bob Bolt's just trying.
Yes.
I believe in Bob Bolt. I'm rooting for Bob Bolt.
Yeah.
I know you said he has an annoying voice multiple times.
Yes.
I don't think his voice is annoying, even though I'd never heard it.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for him.
See,
I like that kid.
The Greg Buck.
He's just trying.
The Greg Buck voice was just kind of like what I have in my head with the annoying voice. That a long fly ball. Like the Greg Buck voice.
Yeah, I didn't think of it yet.
I would love it. I would love for someone to read this that has never heard that play-by-play thing before, because because like even my mom has heard it and like hear what they think the voice sounds like. That's something I'll never be able to like. That's I always say this about songs. Like you talked about how hard it is to write a song, and that amazes me. Like what I do is nothing compared to someone writing a song because they're doing like the lyrics and the music.
It's 4 minutes long. Yours is 6 hours long.
And you know what sucks for the song makers though that I love is that your song is mine as soon as I hear it. Like that song is not about what you wanted to make it about. It's about the girl that dumped me that I think about.
Sure.
Or it's about what I want out of my life. Like I'll even change the lyrics in my head if I want to because I'm taking your song and making it. So that's kind of like people are going to take this and they're going to like, no one reads everything and has a photographic memory. They're going to change things in their mind. So I wonder what other people think Bob Bolt sounds like.
What do you picture the drive or the walk? Bob Bolt has a walk.
Yes.
From a hotel.
That's on the website. So he's walking in an ice storm. Bob Bolt has to get to the game.
It's a quarter mile or something like that.
Okay, so this is good. So there's the Copperhead Hotel is where the team is. The gym where the game is being played is near the Copperhead Hotel. It's the temporary home of the Idaho Taters because their school's under construction. So the team picked the hotel that's right next to where they'll be playing at the Wilbur Gymnasium. But it's not right next door. I'd say in my mind, and I describe it somehow in the book. I don't have that memorized right now. It's not recallable, but like 2 football fields away, maybe a football field and a half away.
That's about what I pictured.
Yeah, so he has to make a walk in a really treacherous ice storm,
horrible ice storm.
Yes, carrying equipment, and so that's a scene that's actually like there's part of that scene on my website, gregbauch.com, where you can get the book. But that just describes Bob Bolt in this treacherous, like risking his life to make this story known, I guess.
All right. Shit, I just lost I had a perfect question and I just lost it. It was it's gone. It's gone. Ask me another question.
So it's the unairable stuff that like I almost want to just stop recording and talk to you about.
We can stop.
Okay.
We can stop.
We don't have to do that. But there are some things like
we're over an hour.
Okay.
We're at 1:13. The first 2 minutes were fake, so we're at like 1:10.
Okay, the 12 people who have seen the game.
Yeah.
Happen.
Oh,
so
the 12.
There's 12
I love
people.
that.
And
you called them the 12.
There's an ice storm going on.
It sounded like Lost to me.
Yeah,
or something.
A little bit, yeah. They're known as the 12. So this game was played in an ice storm, and it's a perfect game, and it's like the biggest thing to ever happen. But who saw the game? There's 12 people that have seen the game, and their stories are kind of all over the place.
Yeah,
like that's stuff
great.
like that. So
love that.
Yeah, that was. I don't know what question I have from that, but.
What did I think of it? I thought it was great.
That's
no,
not
really.
What I was going to ask.
I know, but I thought that was a great thing that you called them the 12.
That notion of people being there for the game, though, reminds me of like the comeback game against the Oilers. That no one was at that game, but everyone claims to have been at.
I've got a better one. I watched Jarrett Patterson score 7 touchdowns and run for 400 yards for UB during COVID. And I was one of the 12.
Yeah.
Like there
was no one there.
No one was there.
Yeah.
I remember texting with Shope. He was at the skate park across the street with his kid. He's like, "Is this actual what I'm reading right now or hearing? Is this real?"
Yeah. I was listening to the game on the radio.
It was the most unbelievable. Like that was the perfect game. Jarrett Patterson had the perfect game. For UB. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And had the coach realized at the time that he could have broken all the records by keeping him in, he would have. But he didn't know.
He just didn't know.
He didn't know.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Kevin Marks scored a touchdown late in the game, I believe. If I screwed that up, I'm sorry. But Jared was tired. He had run for 400 yards.
He just kept him out of the game for that reason.
And
did Jared know?
I don't know. Okay. I don't know that anybody knew.
Yeah.
But he had the best game that any football player's ever had. So I had that as a reference point.
Okay.
While reading your book.
Yeah.
That was unreal in front of nobody.
Yeah.
And I was there. And I'm so happy that I was there for that.
Yeah. What a shitty time.
It was
in sports. Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. But we needed them. I wanted everyone to risk everything because I was losing my mind.
You're stuck at home.
That's right. I wanted Jared Patterson to stay in the game because I was going out of my mind. I needed something. So, yeah.
All right. I'm trying to think if I have any other stuff, but I don't think I do. But I mean, we're gonna. Here's what sucks. We're gonna shut off the microphone and be like, all right, we're done.
Probably.
We're gonna talk for another hour. That's what's gonna happen.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you've got something that needs to be said,
I like if you've listened this far in. Boy, I think that you're buying the book. Like, I'm not.
Buy the book.
I'm talking to you, the listener, right now. If you've listened this far in, I know you're going to buy it. Don't act like you're not going to buy it. There's no way you like Brad and like me and aren't going to buy this book. You're that kind of person, so thank you for that. But if you're still on the fence, like if you're like, no, I need one more thing to tell me, like you're going to like this book.
Yeah,
it's about this. It's about sports and it's about broadcasting, and those two things I care about, and that's that. It's really more about the story, and there's something about like. It isn't me writing this. I was out of my mind writing this, and the style I use is storytelling. It's not what I normally did, and it felt like an out of body experience reading this. Because as I'm writing this, I want to be clever and funny and like just go off on tangents and like paragraphs that are 2 pages long. Like that's how I kind of always written. This is very much like I don't even know like a Norman Rockwell painting is kind of how I would describe how I felt writing this book. So it's a story, and it's all about the story, and I think you're really going to like the story. There's no swearing. I can see you reading this book to your kids.
I noticed that.
There's why I say, God damn it. But it's very purposeful.
So did Tim Graham on the radio the other day.
Okay, you're not allowed to say, God damn it.
Yeah, I know. We're waiting
now
for the...
Come on.
I think so, but no, it's...
So anyways, there's no swearing.
Somebody called in and said, I'm filing a complaint with the FCC because that guy just said, God damn.
That's that same guy. He calls all of the time.
I think you do one or the other.
Yeah.
Either you complain to the FCC or you call the radio station.
Yeah. You don't do both.
No chance.
No.
That guy
has been calling WGR for decades. He called and complained. One of my favorite things I ever did on the radio that only played once, and I'm so mad. I'm still mad at Andy Roth, who is now in whatever city he's in. Atlanta. Thank you. I just talked to him. He took this off the air. What's the name of the guy that sings Wicked Game? Chris Isaac. Chris Isaac was singing the national anthem at like the Major League Baseball All-Star game. Something like that. And I was with Mike and Chris, Chopin the Bulldog on the radio, and it just came up in conversation that he's doing the wild card game. So I was like, what's that going to sound like? All-Star game. So I recorded myself singing Chris Isaac singing the national anthem, but to the tune of Wicked Game. So I got the karaoke version of Wicked Game, and it's like, the bombs bursting in air. Like I sang the song, but to Wicked Game. And it's even got the background singers going, da-da-da-da-da, whatever they sing in the background of Wicked Game.
One of the greatest songs ever written, by the way.
Chris Parker just hands in his, like, you've done something well when Chris Parker can't talk and his hands are just in his face and he's like, he's acting like he's mad, but he's so happy because he's laughing at this. It's like so proud and Mike's laughing and like, I just love this moment. I'm playing it and I wanted to play it again. And Andy comes down. He's like, you can't play that again. And it's this one guy that calls and says, I was an Army veteran and that's a disgrace to this country. It's just like, no, it's not. It's a joke. It's Chris Isaac playing. He's singing the national anthem. This is going to happen at the All-Star game. But so that same guy called and said he's calling the FCC. He never does. He
doesn't. No, nothing happened. No. We had 2 complaints, called complaints.
Oh, you had 2. Oh, then you were.
Well, we had 2. One was just like, that was not okay, and then the second one was like, I'm calling the FCC.
Yeah.
Like, all right, call the friggin' FCC.
Well, then don't read Unbelievable because the word "goddamn it" is 3/4 of the way in. But everything else, just once, and that's it. And there's just no other. I just didn't feel the need to swear.
You were purposefully clean.
Yeah. Well, no, I just wanted it to be about this. I was purposely like kind of locked into just the story, and like I don't know, like maybe I'm growing as a writer, but I didn't go off on tangents. I didn't like have everything in this book needs to be in the book. And I mean, that's like the definition of a book. But there are some things like I'm reading Moby Dick, and it's
wait, for real?
Yes, and it's just something I picked up. And the problem now is that I'm like 800 pages in. It's 1,400 pages long.
Yeah.
And there are moments in this book that are so beautifully written. It's like I get mad because it's so good. He has some lines that are great. He has 4 chapters just to explain different types of whales. Like, oh, come on, Nelville. Like, this all doesn't have to be in there. This book, Unbelievable. There's no fluff. You're going to just get through the story.
Well, that's how I read. It's the first time I've ever read a book cover to cover, and I was super impressed. Shit, you just had something you said about Melville.
3 chapters about whales.
It was before that. It was right before that.
So 700 pages into 1,400 pages. God damn it.
Sorry.
No, I'm trying to trigger your memory.
I know. I can't think of it. But there was another thing that I wanted to say. I lost it.
Okay.
All right.
Well, basically, there's nothing in here. Like, everything in here is very purposeful. And I don't normally write like that. I usually am more, not fancy, but like...
more flourishes.
Yes, more verbose. I don't know. Like, I normally like say a lot more and I try and be funny.
I got it. I found myself very impressed by the last sentence of every chapter.
Okay, good.
Did you intentionally, like, was that a thing? You're like, I'm going to absolutely nail the last sentence of every chapter.
No, I mean, that comes out, like, this thing has been rewritten so many times. It's not, like, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, it got broken down and changed around and, like, like that. Yes, everything is written for a reason, the way it's written, and the chapters end very purposefully to give you a feeling as the reader as you're going through it. So.
And I think that might be what makes it so cinematical. Is that a word?
Yeah.
I think that might be the thing that stood out to me, where it's just. I took a picture of the second sentence in the book. I took a picture of it and sent it to you.
Yes.
And then as I'm reading the book, I'm like, I can't. He wrote it. He doesn't give a shit.
That's not true. There's nothing better. When you write a book, there's nothing better than people saying lines that you had in, like, saying, like, pointing out things that you wrote, because I'm proud of all of the words, and for you to, like, signal something out, it's neat to see what other people find interesting.
Well, there certainly is a pattern in that book where the last sentence of every chapter is amazing.
Oh, good.
How many chapters are in the book?
39.
Okay. I bet 22 of those, the last sentence was like, I don't draw in books, but I know people do. People buy books and then they use highlighters and whatever. And I was 6 of those in where I was like, I should have been doing this the whole time, like, because I'm keeping the book. It's signed to me.
Sure, that's your book,
but I don't want to draw on it.
Okay, well, I can. Do you want this one right here?
No.
Okay,
no,
you can have a drawing version.
I'm not going to read it again.
Okay, good.
I loved it, and I thought that maybe my favorite thing in the whole book was how you crushed the last line, the last sentence of every chapter.
Right.
Do you feel like that's a skill you have? Like, what
I
is
feel
this
like
new to you? What I'm saying, or no?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe. I always try and, like, I mean, I write marketing, so I write in all headlines and subheads and things like that. Like, I have to write quickly to get people's attention every day, but it's about products and stuff like that. It's not always art.
Yeah.
So I think my job has helped me kind of get to the point faster. So maybe, but, like, no, it's just a style thing. Like, I don't know. It's hard. I love the compliment. I'd love to tell you that there's some kind of secret to that, but I can. The chapters did not always end like that. I had to make them that way. So it's so much writing and rewriting and reading, and just, like, you hate it and then you get back to it, and then some days you read it and you think it's the best thing in the world. Some days you read it and it's like, no one's gonna like this. This sucks. I got to a point with this one. I was like, this is good. I am proud of this. So those end of the chapters, that a lot of work came to get to that.
Okay. What do you hate about the book?
That number 38 thing.
Sorry.
No. You keep saying sorry. I'm sorry. Like that is a thing. It doesn't matter. I'm still very proud
It
of it.
might not have been a rule years ago. It might not have been a rule in 72.
It might not have been a rule. No, it's probably a rule from like Naismith probably came up with
Maybe.
that. But anyways, it's not that big of a deal. I just want to die. I don't hate anything about the book. Like I don't feel it's not like anything I've kind of written before, so it's not like I'm not used to it. So I don't really hate all that. Yeah, like I hate everything because I've had to read it. I had to read it 1,000 times while writing it, and then I did the audiobook version, and that like you're just listening it over again. So like you hate every word because you're just sick of it. But there's nothing really. I hate how mean I have to be to some characters. Like that's tough. Like I'm not normally a mean person, but some of these people,
Gus?
They dug their own bed. Yeah, Gus.
Gus is a piece of shit.
Gus is a piece of shit, and you know what? It's hard for me to make him a piece of shit, but that's his role.
Yeah.
So that's not easy.
Right.
You like these people when you're writing for them, and I know Gus's whole life. I know why he's a piece of shit. You'll never know it, but like you just got to get to know Gus a little. Maybe you'd like him, but
Sure.
you won't in this book. You'll hate him. So.
Sure. Yeah. No, he was terrible.
Yeah.
But oh well. I'm going to end this unless you have things to ask me again. You told me you like the idea of asking me questions.
No, you have, this is the first time I've gotten to really talk to someone for a long time who's read the book.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting to hear what you had to say about it. And it kind of covers what, the only question that really matters is, did you like the book?
I love the book.
That's great. And then there's probably things that might come up later that I can just text you, but no.
Yeah, we'll talk.
If you read this book and you're on my website, you need to ask a question that Brad didn't ask. Just reach out and ask it because I love talking about this. So
of course you do.
Yeah.
I couldn't be more. You're my friend for a long time, and I'm super proud of you for putting this thing out. It's incredible.
It's unbelievable. That's you gotta get.
God damn it!
Yeah.
All right. I just did what Tim did. We're fine.
Yeah.
It's just the internet.
Oh, you want to know what the working title of the book was?
Yeah.
That was going to be the title for the longest time? The Whale. That's not why I'm reading Moby Dick. It has nothing to do with Moby Dick. It was going to be called The Whale.
I thought that would be why it was. Why? Why was it The Whale?
We'll talk about it later.
No, we will not. Why was it The Whale?
We will talk about it later. I'm telling you this very forcefully.
All right. Fair.
Short answer, because Community Beer Works had a beer called
The Whale.
The Whale. And
Delicious brown ale.
The beer they stopped making was Frank. And my first book was called Frank. And my second book, because I wrote this 12 years ago, I put The Whale down as a working title. And that was because I like The Whale more than Frank as a beer.
Same.
So I was just like, what if I write a book that's always about Community Beer Works beers? Isn't that stupid? Isn't that fucking stupid? But I did that. And so it was called The Whale for the longest time, but then it couldn't stay that. So
fair.
I still drink good brown ale.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
All right. I worked there for a while.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
All right. I guess we're done.
Thank you.
Let's do Store 716 again.
Yeah.
Store 716, they are our friends.
Yeah.
We're going to get your book in their store.
They sold my coloring book, so.
That's right. That's right.
I gave away the last one at the book signing, so those
They're
no
gone?
longer exist. Those are gone. I have one. It's colored in a little, but they don't. If you have one, that's a collector's item.
I have one.
Okay. I'm interrupting your talk.
No, you're not really. The fact that we did that together, that was
fun, yes.
That was very fun. That was that was you making jokes. That was you writing jokes.
This is tweets with pictures, basically.
That's all it was.
Yes, that's all it was, yeah.
I'm glad you did it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything.
No. Oh.
This book is something.
Okay, you knocked me down there, but you're picking me up.
Well,
That's
no,
good.
I'm just saying it was like, of course.
Yeah, it was just a little
Of course, you can make a bunch of jokes.
Yeah.
You're a comedian.
Yeah.
Of course, you can make jokes and then draw a thing. And I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
But it was.
Oh, I know exactly what you're saying.
It didn't blow me away.
When people ask
it was
me,
just like, oh, it's Greg.
When people
making
ask me,
jokes.
is this my first book? I say, no, it's my second. If I counted the coloring book, I would say that the coloring book is not a book.
It's not a book.
It was a little side project that I had
It's not a
fun doing.
book.
Yeah.
So you wrote Frank Dates, which I liked a lot. You did a coloring book, which I liked a lot.
Yeah.
You did Unbelievable, which is unbelievable.
Oh, good.
Like I'm so proud of you, man. Like it's so cool. I'm so excited that you did it. I hope that it, serves you well. I hope that you now want to write more books, and I hope you write another one, and I hope you have another idea that's not 13 years old that starts a new thing.
The next one's being written.
Awesome.
It'll be much sooner. Hopefully.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Good.
Greg Bauch, thank you very much.
Thank
dude.
you, Brad.
The whole thing has been brought to you by Store 716 and store716.com. Thank you for joining us for, I don't know what number episode this is, but it's 298 or 299. We'll figure it out. 300 is going to be an amazing experience, but we just haven't gotten to it yet. So
well, I'll come back. We'll talk about my next book for 300.
maybe. No, we got to do it faster and sooner and all that crap. All right. Thanks, Greg. That's Greg Bauch. I'm Brad Riter. Thank you for listening to Riter Radio episode something 298, 299. I don't know.